in traditional media such as TV, radio, and other formats, you can measure precisely the reach of the message.
Yeah.
Sometimes in digital you can't, but I understand that Digilant is making efforts in order to give more specific statistics to the audience. Can you give us the idea of what Digilant is doing in this issue?
Yeah, the two things that are happening, and part of it is like what Digilant is doing, and part of it is what the industry is doing. Is you see the major growing platforms in the digital ecosystem, the ones that people are spending their time on, especially the social platforms. They're building, they've listened to the brands, they listen to the agencies, and they're building better statistical models to understand in each of the individual siloed platforms how you can build ROI models, right? Because that's what agencies and brands were looking for. And what we're doing is we're really trying to. So I think in Facebook or Instagram or Google or even some of the newer channels, the statistics are becoming very solid, and they're more ROI focused, they're KPI focused in one individual channel. But like what brands want is brands are spending dollars to reach consumers who live in all these channels. So what we have to do is we have to build attribution models that cut across the channels, especially the channels that are what we call the walled gardens, where the walled gardens are kind of keeping their data sets and their information within their own platforms. But again, consumers cut across these channels, brands want to work across these channels and spend money across these platforms. So what we need to do is build attribution models to say, okay, in a 30 or 45 day window to reach consumers who are in market, either in consideration phase or in buy phase or whatever place they are in the buying cycle. Like, how do we understand like where you spend your money across these channels to reach an end goal of like a brand experience or an e-commerce experience, and how do we most efficiently spend across these channels and build models to spend across the channels so that we know how to interact with the consumer, both in terms of the content we represent to the consumer and how we cut across these channels. And it's very difficult because as you've seen across like the digital lumescape, has become more complex. There's 300, 400, 500 different technology providers, media providers, and companies that reach consumers across all these digital landscapes. And but the most important thing is to be able to kind of try to bring it all together in a central data set to understand what consumers are doing.